Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, January 15th, 2026. Got you for the next 2 hours today on a Thursday edition. From the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, it is Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Streaming live, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X. YouTube at ESPN South Florida. Twitter, X, and Facebook, all those great places at ESPN West Palm. You can watch us as we stream live there as well. Some news in the middle of the night because that's when these contracts are negotiated. John Harbaugh is going to be the next coach of the New York Giants. 5 years, 100-some-odd million. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, who floated in some head coach discussions, has been successful in his tenure, short-lived tenure at the Ravens, is moving with him to the Giants. And I guess all eyes are on who they're going to go get for a defensive coordinator. But the Giants have their head coach set. First domino that falls, Joe Shane gets his guy. 888-760-3776, number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. How would you grade that signing? How would you grade that move for the New York Giants? Getting John Harbaugh in there, who is an experienced coach with a Super Bowl championship under his belt and about 170-something wins with the Baltimore Ravens in that long history there. 888-760-3776. How would you grade John Harbaugh's signing? I think if we're going to talk about it objectively, John Harbaugh's signing was clearly the type of candidate that the Giants needed. In that way that they didn't need a young gun offensive coordinator, which is, the new hot topic nowadays. I would even make the argument that they didn't need the new hot topic defensive coordinator either. They needed somebody with experience. They need somebody who knew how to win games, who knew how to contain a locker room, who knew how to deal with the media, and knew how to build a consistent culture. John Harbaugh is probably one of 5 coaches that come to mind throughout the entire league that are currently coaching that could do an excellent job at that. Maybe 5 or 6. And the Giants, luckily, had that coach, John Harbaugh, fall right into their lap. The 1 year that he is fired is the 1 year that they're also looking for a head coach. This is a great move for what they are looking for, because John Harbaugh, to me, is one of those coaches that can get the boat above water. And if there's anything about the Giants, they were sinking fast. They've been sinking ever since really Coughlin left. They had some good year. They had one good year with Dable. They had one good year with McAdoo. Outside of that, they've done absolutely nothing. They have misfired on free agent candidates. They have misfired on free agency signings. They have blundered offseason negotiations. They have done poorly with the media. And first and foremost, they have lost a lot of games. So from here on out, I think it's important to acknowledge that at the very least, Giants did something right here. They absolutely nailed this hire. They got the one-of-one prospect that they were looking for. Anybody else outside of Harbaugh in this search for the Giants, for their expectations, for what they needed, would have been in the B's in terms of a grade. John Harbaugh was the only A that they could have gotten. Outside of maybe Tomlin, this was the only A that the Giants could have gotten in terms of a letter grade. So I think this is a surefire right move for New York because, as Christian may know, as a Raven fan himself, John Harbaugh, for better or worse, is consistent, and the Giants have been anything but.
Yeah, they've got the second worst record in the past 10 years in the NFL. It's the Jets, the worst of 49 wins, the Giants, second to worst with 55 wins. And at the very least, which you can take solace in as a Giants fan, your team is now, I'm going to call it, guaranteed competent. Like, you are not going to be a joke anymore. You will be around 500. You will be flirting with the playoffs. And in time, maybe if some draft picks do spike and you do hit home runs on guys, you darn well might be contending for the division. Now you can be on that track. The unknown before this, you have no idea. For all as you know, it could be more of the same, as you mentioned, hiring the hotshot, unproven coordinator in that spot. No, you know someone who knows how to be a head coach. It's John Harbaugh, and he's ready, willing, and able to get to work, roll his sleeves up, and make his first big decision, honestly, because we know John Harbaugh is going to have input on who is on that roster, more importantly, who is the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. Are you going to build around Jackson Dart, or are you going to draft a quarterback?
Absolutely not. They're not. I would be blow. Who are they going to draft?
I don't know.
There's nobody to draft. Not anymore.
You still could draft somebody. Maybe you're not getting the first or second pick of that draft in terms choice of quarterback in that draft.
Right.
But you still have that option.
I guess. I understand what you're saying. But, I mean, we talked about yesterday, Dante Moore's going back to college. It's going to be, Ty Simpson, Trinidad Chambliss, Carson Beck, and Fernando Mendoza. Take your pick. I think Jackson. If I had to make a bet right now, Jackson Dart would be that starter next year, and I think that's what John Harbaugh signed up for. I think part of the sell, if you're Joe Schoen, who's the general manager of the Giants, who a lot of people did not want to hang around after the Brian Daboll saga, most famously and publicly, he squandered the Saquon Barkley, let him walk out the door, and it was on the offseason Hard Knocks. The Giants looked like a joke. They went over to the Eagles. He had a superb season. They won a Super Bowl. In hindsight, in my opinion, letting Saquon walk was the only move the Giants could have made in that situation. So I actually think a lot of Giant fans are wrong when they think that it was the wrong move to let him go and not sign him long term. I understand you're thinking now, well, what difference would it have made if we just kept him long term because he's a Giant for life. He embodies the culture. He didn't do anything to impact your winning, and he didn't. And he needed, if anything, he needed a team that was more suited to utilize his talents, and that was a good team already. That's what the Eagles did. Nonetheless, Joe Schoen, who a lot of people did not want to come back as general manager, made a big splash here. I'm going to be under the impression that ownership had something to do with this in terms of what money they were going to put up, but a lot of it was, I assume, Joe Schoen, general manager, alongside maybe Chris Mara, who's part of the ownership group and guys who run the team. They had Harbaugh in New Jersey yesterday all day. And I'm sure part of their sell was New York Giants will give you anything you want, historic franchise, and we have players. The Giants have players. They're not any good. I mean, they're not a good team, but they have players. They got a quarterback. They got a good running back. They got multiple good receivers. Their offensive line isn't even half bad. Defensively, they were a nightmare. They were misutilized. They've got a good defensive line. But they got some working out to do. But after a good rookie class, that's a pretty good team. Abdul Carter did not have a great rookie season. He was the rookie out of Penn State, third overall pick of the draft. And he had a good finish to the year. I think Harbaugh is going to sink his teeth into this roster. I really do. He's going to get that front seven firing. I imagine he's going to get a young gun defensive coordinator in there. I don't know who they're looking at. I know there are some rumors out there about who they're going to get, but whether it's maybe like somebody like Jim Leonard, who's a hotshot defensive coordinator for the Broncos. But I do think that the Giants are in 10 times the spot that they were in 24 hours ago.
It is interesting, specifically with one position. Notoriously, the Ravens were never able to get the wide receiver position right after freaking local guy Anquan Bolden left the team.
Sure.
Like, just in Lamar's era, the best you can give us is Zay Flowers, essentially, which isn't saying much. Whereas this Giants team, like you mentioned, has players, and two of those players are receivers for quarterback Jackson Dart with Malik Neighbors, and Wan'Dale Robinson was awesome last year in Neighbors' absence.
They have
Bellinger,
talent.
I think the tight end is a good guy as well.
And Theo Johnson.
Yes. Like, there is certainly already a couple of pieces that are ready-made in that Giants team to be used at the disposal with John Harbaugh.
They got Cam Scattaboo, and they have Tyrone Tracy, who's not bad. I mean, they got players. I'm not saying it's perfect, but with good draft picks, Harbaugh's going to attract free agents. I think if people get the sense that the Giants are coming back, similar to how college programs come back, that's what it'll feel like for the Giants. The second people start getting the impression, the Giants are pretty good again, they're going to become a pretty attractive target quickly. People want to be on the Giants. It's a famous franchise, a historic franchise, and you're playing in New York. And you're playing for the New York team. They've just always stunk, and they've always had major issues, either personnel or with coaching. Now you don't have that. And I wonder what the sell to Harbaugh was that got him there. And if it was a background of he wanted to go there from the beginning, I wonder what the Giants said and offered that other teams couldn't have that would have swayed Harbaugh. Like the Dolphins. It can't be general manager. If we're under the impression Tony Grossi, who was on ESPN Cleveland, said he wanted to pick his general manager, that didn't happen. And does that tell you that he would have taken the Dolphin job with a general manager in place? with John Eric Sullivan, who they just hired from the Green Bay Packers. I wonder what the Dolphins couldn't offer that the Giants did, other than maybe some roster stability. And the Dolphins have a better roster, maybe pound for pound, than the Giants do outside of one position.
It's almost like the Giants may have just outsourced. Like, just take it all, John Harbaugh.
But how many teams aren't saying that? How many teams are not saying that? How many teams are saying that as well?
Teams that have active owners that still truly do want to be the decision maker. Teams that have general managers who were recently hired that were promised that they would have end-all, be-all say.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier said than done to relinquish your power and completely outsource your football decisions when you are a football team.
Yeah, I think there's something true to that. When you have to be at some level of desperate and some level of failure that you almost have to reflect and think, I need to step out of my role. And there are probably certain pieces on the Giants. I wonder if Joe Shane came to him, who's the general manager of the Giants, and said, John, you will have first call on a lot of roster decisions. I will be there to help you. I want to work in lockstep with you, but you will have superseding authority. I wonder if that was said. Because before we even get started, we know who the scapegoat is. First man out, if there's any sort of hiccup, Shane is out, right? So we know that. And I wonder if they gave Harbaugh that overarching authority to do whatever the heck he wanted. And if that's the case, if that was really the sell for him, I'd be under the impression that multiple other teams would do the exact same.
Like the be your own boss appeal to people that are in the job market?
Right. You're telling me the Dolphins wouldn't have wanted that? You don't think he didn't even meet with the Titans. You don't think those teams would have said, John Harbaugh will do anything to get you in here? They probably would have. So I wonder if it was the prestige of the franchise or the quality of the roster that sold him. And on the other side of this, did not sell him to Miami. He's not going to be the Dolphin coach. Why? Is it because the Dolphins ownership did not want to get him in earlier? They didn't give him the full keys and to the castle? Why did Harbaugh not consider it? That's the real question. Because if he was lockstep on the Giants, he's a West Coast guy. I mean, outside of the Giants Dolphins are a historic organization as well. Not as much as the Giants, but a historic organization. Playing a premier market. You get players there. Got an owner who spends. You have a decent roster. He's got one problem with Tua. Outside of that, I mean, you're going to have multiple years to deal with it. So John Harbaugh is too worried about winning year one. I think it's more about building something long term. And I'm just hypothesizing that maybe he looked at the Dolphins and he looked at the Giants and said, legacy move, I would be better known around NFL if I was successful with the Giants. I would have more legacy attached to my name with the Giants comparatively to the Dolphins. And it sounds crazy to say because the Dolphins haven't seen any success in 26 years, but I think that's the case. Because I don't know, money does not, he went to the Browns, Titans, Falcons, he would have went to the Dolphins, and he would have made $20 million. And he probably would have had roster consideration and roster decision-making. So what's the next step? Is Jackson Dart selling that much? Really? Jackson Dart's go to the Raiders if you want the new quarterback. So I think it was the franchise. I think John Harbaugh is chasing a little bit of legacy, chasing that final stop in his career. And I think that was the Giants.
Yeah, and the Giants have been underratedly a laughingstock because they share the city with the Jets. The Jets are the punchline. The Mets are the punchline in New York. It's not really the Giants, and it should be if they were in any other city. They would be mocked like the Cleveland Browns are mocked.
They're just as bad, if not worse. If not worse. They're probably they've had worse blunders outside of Cleveland and the Deshaun Watson contract. They've had worse blunders than Cleveland has. They've had more. The Daniel Jones contract, which blew up in their face. The Saquon Barkley situation, which blew up in their face. Ben McAdoo's exit was ugly. They've had 6 different head coaches in 5 years. They've been nonstop in disarray, and they've gotten blown out in a lot of national stages. And they play in a good division. with a lot of good historic teams. Eagles, Washington, Cowboys, all of whom have had really good years in the last 5 years. Giants have quietly been a bottom 3 NFL franchise in the past 10 years. Bottom 3. Them, the Giants, maybe you throw in the Raiders or the Browns. Those 4. Dolphins have seen more success. The Giants have not. So I do think this is a legacy move. I think Harbaugh will be better off because of this in the long term, because I do think this was the best situation that was suited his capabilities the most. If we were going to draw a mold of where is the perfect John Harbaugh-sized hole for what team, would that be the perfect keyhole fit? And it was a team that needed to get back above water. Giants. You can make the argument it was the Dolphins, but the Dolphins were pretty solid. You know, they had pretty good games. The Giants were drowning. They need to get back above water, and he's exactly what they'll do. They're going to win 8 games next year.
Yeah, they had 8 wins on their schedule this year that were fumbled, not in a literal sense, but were just collapsed upon due to poor game management.
True.
They should have beat the Cowboys with that last-second comeback. Should have beat the Broncos last-second comeback.
Fair enough.
There were certainly a lot of games where the Giants competed and belonged on the same field as mediocre teams in the NFL, and they just were poorly coached.
Yeah, right. They had a bad second half against the Commanders. Yeah, I understand. There's totally something to that. And they showed good highs. They beat the Eagles. So I agree. But they could totally, at this point, if there's a season over hit, John Harbaugh getting signed versus when he doesn't, that over-under in the Vegas win total odds, I'd have to check, but would go from 4.5 or 5.5 wins to 8.5. He's a 3 to 4 win difference in terms of what the projected win total would be. That's how important he is to what they do.
If we're going to get nuts, let's get nuts. We saw what Mike Vrabel getting hired for the Patriots did last offseason. We didn't think too much of it. We didn't think they were going to win the division. At least I didn't think that.
Right.
And you look back now, and it's that was the dependent variable. It was same quarterbacks there. Year 2, Drake May. Mayo out, Vrabel in, and the Patriots looked incredible this year. Sure, they took care of the business they should. I don't care if you want to criticize who their wins were against, but they were dramatically better in 2025 than they were in 2024, and they took an established head coach that was a culture setter, a floor raiser like Mike Vrabel was in Tennessee, and they put him with a young quarterback in that East Coast division. And now you're doing the same exact thing with John Harbaugh, who was in Baltimore even longer than Vrabel was in Tennessee, and you're putting him on that team that has a young quarterback, did not win many games last year.
Yeah, not to get too far into it, but the one thing about the Giants, they had the last place schedule because they were last place in the NFC East. The last place teams that they faced are going to be the Detroit Lions, which is not a fun one, and the New Orleans Saints, which is also not a fun one. They will play Arizona, but it's too early to make projections, but they don't love that. I'll tell you that right now. And then their adjacent team in the AFC in terms of a last place, because every team has with the extra 17th game. That extra 17th game is a AFC random same place finish opponent. It's the Browns. All right. So their home games would be their division: Cardinals, Browns, Jags, Saints, 49ers, Titans. That's very manageable.
Yeah.
On the road, that's where it gets a little trickier. Lions, Texans, Colts, Rams, Seahawks. That's where it gets a little more difficult.
Am I far off base comparing the Vrabel hire and projecting that this could be the Giants?
In terms of format, absolutely not. You have an experienced head coach who had success at a previous location, and
you have better players than the Giants than I saw from the Patriots last year.
Well, the Patriots also led the league in cap, and then what they did is they immediately splurged in free agency, and they had a good draft. I don't know what the Giants cap situation is. I imagine it's really, really good, but yeah, there's something to it because they got a second-year quarterback who showed flashes, who had highs and lows, just need the right guy to unlock him. And you're going to have a John Harbaugh, who we haven't even mentioned it, his guy for the last 10 years has been Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson, and especially with Todd Monken, that offense caters to a dual threat. When Lamar sort of got taped together at the end of the year because he was hurt, that's when that offense struggled. When Lamar is mobile and is able to move around, and Lamar's been able to protect himself throughout his career for the most part, that caters to Jackson Dart's play style.
which is scary because we've already seen the amount of concussion evaluations Jackson Dart went through in year one.
He's going to have to go through the Lamar Jackson school of avoid getting hit.
Right, yeah. You got to get slippery. Exactly. You cannot initiate contact as an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry. If you want to prolong your career and be as effective as you can, you got to be on the field and safe.
Yeah, Giants will be, I don't know if it's too early to proclaim, but they will be closer to a playoff spot than a top 5 pick next year. They will be closer to a playoff spot and top 5 pick. And they're going to be flirting with a playoff spot. That's how good Harbaugh is for what they need. That little sense of right the ship in the perfect direction. He's going to be an A+ move for them in hindsight. He's here's the thing. You mentioned it, Vrabel. He's a better hire than Vrabel ever was. Vrabel was the first guy off the board as well. So there's another comparison. And he sort of made that signing, and then the coaching carousel went on for a little bit because everybody was waiting on Johnson. And Johnson had a playoff game, so it was a little different. But Harbaugh going right now, and then I think it'll take the rest of these teams. You won't hear about another one for, I would guess, maybe another 3 days.
What do you think about right now, this conversation going on throughout the state of Wisconsin is, all right, we're Packers fans. We're unhappy with how the past couple of years have gone. Matt LaFleur, we're kind of unhappy with him. Dang, it would have been cool if at midnight last night we heard LaFleur fired, Harbaugh hired. You think the Packers would be a better destination in theory for Harbaugh?
I think that would have been the team to take him. He would have went to the Packers. Is the best job in the NFL. It's the best job in the NFL. They're a little cheap in terms of what they pay you because it's a publicly owned franchise, but the best job for legacy in the entire league. And I think that's what Harbaugh's chasing at some point. He's a millionaire. Guy's made plenty of money. Yes, he's going to want the biggest contract, but that's not the deciding factor. He is chasing legacy. He wants that perfect second stop. He wants that Andy Reid second stop. There has never been a coach, not to get too hyperbolic, there's never been a coach in the history of the NFL to win 2 Super Bowls with 2 franchises. Sean Payton's the only one who has an opportunity still left in the postseason. So outside of that, I imagine if you're hiring John Harbaugh, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that, where can I contend for a Super Bowl at the next spot? That's a weird stat, too, that the fact that there has never been 2 coach to be at 2 spots.
Yeah, that is really weird.
As assistants, yes, Belichick comes to mind. But as head coach, no.
So I'm trying to think why that is. One conventional thinking is
Andy
if you're
Reid,
a coach wins a Super Bowl, you probably stay where you are because you can win a Super Bowl there.
You could talk about the McNabb game and how that hurt Reid's legacy. You could always talk about that. But, yeah. So, Sean Payton's the only one who has an opportunity this postseason. And Bo Nix is 1-8 against playoff teams in his career that score over 17 points. So we'll see what that happens with the divisional round this weekend. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. That is Christian Cat, Colin Russo. John Harbaugh officially signed to the New York Giants. Going to be there for the foreseeable future. Will be that next big-time shot caller for the New York Giants. Grade it. What do you think it is? Is that an A+? Christian and I are both on the same page that is a franchise-altering, for the better decision. 888-760-3776. Did the Dolphins blunder this move? Should they have never let Harbaugh make another consideration elsewhere? Let us know. 888-760-3776. College football fans, get ready. The ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour is rolling into West Palm Beach at the City Place before it heads down to Miami. Join us, myself, and Theo Dorsey will be there January 17th from 4 to 8 p.m. where you can listen to us live from 5 to 7 for live ESPN radio shows. Try your shot with the Robin Hood football toss and enter some awesome giveaways. You got a reflex game there. Get a free Monster Energy drink as well. Bring your friends, rep your school, be part of the action as ESPN Radio takes over City Place. Join us for nonstop college football fun, the ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour, Saturday, January 17th. From 4 to 8 p.m. at City Place, West Palm Beach. Don't miss it. You can catch us there. We'll be there from 5 to 7. Should be a lot of fun. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. How would you grade that John Harbaugh hire for the New York Giants? Would you get an A+ like Christian and myself? Would you give it a B+? Do you wish the Dolphins never let him walk out the door? Was that a failure by Stephen Ross, who's probably down the street building another skyscraper? Was that a failure on his part, not letting him walk out the door? Let us know. 888-760-3776.
Me and Theo have seen a bunch of celebrities walk by today.
Give me an example.
Something's going on.
Give me an example.
I think we saw Dan Marino.
Okay. So is this is a Stephen Ross related incident?
Yes, that's what we think's happening. That's funny. You said Stephen Ross related when his agency's Ross related, but yeah.
Do you think? You think Marino's going down to complain that Ross did not hire Harbaugh?
Maybe. Give him peace of his mind.
That would be if I was a former legendary quarterback and I cared that much about the team that I formerly played for. That's a disaster. And somebody like Harbaugh went to the New York Giants. I would walk into his office because they'd let me in. If I was Dan Marino, they would let me in.
You'd get his ear.
I'd get his ear. I would just want to make my something felt. They're building a hospital right down there, and instead of finding out, getting Harbaugh in the building.
Is that what that building's going to be?
It's going to be a hospital.
That
right
building looks way too nice to be a hospital. I thought this was
the one right down the street. Yeah,
with like the glass. Wow, didn't know that.
It's going to be wonderful traffic. For that one stop sign at City Place with traffic and ambulances. Looking forward to that, nonetheless. Christian Cat, Colin, Russo, 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Long ago, the seas be whispering tales of the lost flute. A treasure so rare it shows itself but once each turn of the sun. All this searching, and I found it. Publix, this be where X marks the spot?
Discounted tickets, limited time.
South Florida Fair discount tickets are on sale now at Publix and online at southfloridafair.com. Advance tickets can save you more than half, so get them before they vanish on January 15th.
Limited time deal.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
College football fans, it's time. The ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour is rolling into City Place, West Palm Beach. Join us Saturday night, January 17th from 4 to 8 for live ESPN radio shows. We'll have awesome giveaways. You can try your shot at our Serve Pro Rapid Response Reflex game, a Robin Hood football toss, and maybe even grab a free Monster Energy drink. Bring your friends, rep your school, and be part of the action as ESPN Radio takes over City Place. Saturday, January 17th from 4 to 8 at City Place, West Palm Beach.
Hey, Colin, man.
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Let's kick off the new year with a home upgrade that's a win for you and the environment. A Culligan high-efficiency water softener helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals. Talk about a game-winning play. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. Visit Culligan.com for more information and to schedule your free water test. Or just say,
Hey, Colin, man.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
No NFL coach has ever won a Super Bowl with two different franchises. A number of guys came close. Mike Holmgren is one of them for the Packers and then got there with Seattle in 2005. Don Shula came close with the Colts and then the Dolphins. Weeb Eubank was the only one, if you really want to make an argument for it, who won NFL championships before the merger with the Colts in the late 50s with Johnny Unitas. And then he won Super Bowl III with the New York Jets and Joe Namath. So there's one. But outside of that, there's only been a couple to get to two with multiple spots. Parcells, Reed, Andy Reid, that is. Nobody's ever done it twice. Now that a Super Bowl winning coach is on the move, and that happens rarely, you can now see if that could be done with John Harbaugh and the New York Giants. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3, 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. John Harbaugh, did the Dolphins blunder it by letting him walk out the door potentially, and it didn't even seem like they had a fighter's chance. It was also reported today that John Harbaugh contacted all of the former position coaches on Brian Daboll's staff, and Brian Daboll actually talked to Harbaugh too, talking about the ins and outs of the roster. So this is something that he was sold on, and he wanted to get clarification on.
It's such an inside thing because you got to imagine. You think Brian Daboll wanted to have that conversation?
Hey, good for him. Hey, Daboll handles himself well. I'll give him that. That he wasn't a great coach. He had issues with play calling management and everything like that. But I think the fact is, the Brian Daboll not only calling Harbaugh before he made the decision to go there, and him calling him and telling him how good Jackson Dart is and how he should take the team. He reached out to him and basically recommended to take the Giants. That's what Brian Daboll did. That's classy. I like that. I could always respect that. And I think that puts Brian Daboll in good graces with other franchises because an ugly exit will resonate with other owners. And that's why a relatively clean exit with the Giants, despite it being midseason, I think the good graces between both sides sits well.
It's a people business. You see these coaching trees, and everybody has a connection with who. It's a brotherhood, these coaches, where I feel like being on the right side of the Maras and the Giants organization, despite getting fired, and being on the right side of John Harbaugh is very advantageous for the career of fired Brian Daboll. So it kind of makes sense in that aspect, but get fired and you're on the phone. That's tough.
There's something about leaving the New York team and making sure that the rest of the league doesn't think you're damaged goods. You don't want a terrible, ugly exit to the point in which you'll never coach again at the highest level as a head coach. Bob Saleh did it the right way when he left the Jets. Despite it having issues with Rodgers and this and that and the other, he mostly handles himself pretty well, especially with media. And Brian Daboll is now doing a lot of the same because I think recruiting Harbaugh to take that job, telling him how much he believes in the Giants, not only is a little bit of a vote of confidence to the roster, I think it's a vote of confidence to the rest of the league that Daboll's a guy you'd want in your building. And I think that's why he'll get a good offensive coordinator job wherever that might be, whether it be Eagles, Cowboys, one of those big sought-after ones, nonetheless. Adam Schefter added Sam Darnold. Was added to the Seattle Seahawks injury report. He's now labeled as questionable for the game with an oblique injury. Questionable. There is no way he does not play that game. Let's just get that out of the way. So
who's their backup?
The Seahawks backup? It's a great Jalen Milroe?
Yes, if you recall, there was conversations of a quarterback competition this offseason before Sam Darnold obviously showed up and showed out. Yes, Jalen Milroe was drafted this past for the Seattle Seahawks.
I scratched that. Drew Lock is on the roster as well. He is technically their second string.
Oh, Milroe the third, I guess?
Milroe is number 3. Huh. So Jalen Milroe is number 3. Drew Lock is number 2. But Adam Schefter added him to the injury report today, so that comes out of nowhere. And another thing that just came out from Adam Schefter in regard to that same game, the Niners and the Seahawks, is Fred Warner, who activated his playing period, the star linebacker for the 49ers, will not be activated off of injury reserve ahead of the game for Seattle in the divisional round. He was practicing. He was moving pretty well, but I guess they're wavering on the side of caution. I would have played him. If he could walk, get on the field, we need you. But Fred Warner, who is one of the most important defensive players in the entire league, will not be playing. He is definitely a surefire to play next week if they get to the NFC Championship game. So there's a big loss there, both sides. But nonetheless, we got divisional round this weekend. We got a bunch of good games. Boy, do we have 4 great games on Saturday and Sunday that we could all look forward to. And what we will do with 8 teams remaining is we'll figure out who's the most likely to win a Super Bowl, who has the best odds, who are the favorites from here on out, 1 through 8. Let's figure it out. Presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Who's moving up?
Eagles still best team in the NFL. You know that they're not distracted.
Who's moving down?
I'm down on the Packers. This is going to be a major problem. We'll see.
It's time for the Russo and Rizzo NFL Power Rankings. Presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
All right. Usually do our top 10 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Since we only have 8 teams remaining, we will do our top 8 most likely Super Bowl favorites the rest of the way. 1 through 8, we'll go 8 through 1 instead of 1 through 8, and we'll start at number 8.
Number 8.
All right, of the teams remaining, the least likely to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion, every team is still good here, in good spot. You can go in a couple different directions. I might surprise you here, but I do think that the Houston Texans should come in at number 8.
Ooh.
That's where I would put my cards today.
I was looking at that game and not looking at the Texans.
Wow, you're looking at the Patriots there.
Yeah. I have seen every other team remaining in the playoffs beat good teams significantly more reliably than the Patriots, and the only thing left is good teams.
I think both those teams would be my 7 and 8. I would agree with that. But
okay.
I was going to go Texans at 8 because I just don't see offense. We love that defense. The defense is Stroud is going to need to win them a game. He had one big play in that game on Monday night on that 3rd and 15. Outside of that, he did absolutely nothing in the game, and he was, in my opinion, actively trying to lose the game. I know they won by 24 points and Stroud had a terrible game. That should be viewed as a positive, but Pittsburgh's not a playoff caliber team. They're not. They're not.
And to that point, I'm looking at the Patriots against the Chargers, and the Patriots didn't look that good.
No. And that was more of a, you came out of that game thinking, boy, the Chargers, why'd they even get an invitation to the dance?
Yeah.
And so because that's hard to grade both those teams, therefore I think those both the Texans and the Patriots would come in some capacity at 7 or 8. I can listen to the Patriots at 8. I can because the Texans got the best unit of both teams in that defense.
Yeah, and it's almost like the Patriots have a better chance of winning over the weekend, but I think the Texans have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl. How that works out, I'll tell you, because the Texans will have a better chance against everyone else remaining in the playoffs, and the Patriots will have a worse chance, in my opinion, versus every team in the AFC and the NFC remaining.
It's going to be a snow game, too. It's going to be nice and cold, windy, with a snowstorm in Foxborough. So that'll be a fun one. I don't know if that favors the defense. I got to assume it does in some capacity. I got to assume it does. But, you know what? I'll listen to that. I'll listen to the Patriots at number 8.
Number 7.
This is, I think, where you put the Houston Texans. Would you agree with this?
You know, the Chicago Bears keep on getting away with murder. Can they keep it up?
You know why? Because I think Chicago gets a home game out of one half of the other game. And if the Niners win, they get 3 home games. And I think because of that will matter. You think Houston is going to win 3 straight road games to get the Super Bowl? That's what I would argue against.
Okay. Yeah.
3 home games versus 3 road games is a substantial difference.
The Texans at number 7.
Number 6.
You're not putting the Broncos, the Bills, or the Seattle Seahawks there.
Broncos might not be here, but they're soon. That team is soon.
Oh, we're going to get to them?
The one scene is coming. I'll tell you that right now. Because there are teams with better chances to win the Super Bowl than the Broncos that are not sitting at a 1 seed right now. I'd listen to the Bears here. I would listen to the Bears here. I'm telling you, I'd listen to the Broncos here.
You know, I saw the Bears and the Niners play less than a month ago. I think they play that game 10 times and the Bears win more than they lose. I would put the Niners.
Not against the coach. Not against the coach.
Yeah.
Not against the coach. I see it. And the thing is, the funny part is, we're talking about, I don't want to bet against the 49ers when the other coaches that we're basically talking about are perhaps the coach of the year, and then the Broncos, Super Bowl winning head coach Sean Payton. I think the Niners deserve to be higher on this list despite them being really beat up. I really do. Because if they win, They're going to be super dangerous with Warner back. They're going to be super dangerous with Warner back.
So at 8, we put the Patriots. Monumentous level of disrespect, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, I would have been fine with Texans, but I think that game, bottom 2.
Yeah. Texans at 7. At 6, we went with the Bears.
Number 5.
So this is where you could go on. I think you get a 1 seed here. I really do. I think you put in the Denver Broncos right here. You trust Denver to win the Super Bowl more than you trust San Francisco?
From what I've heard about that home field advantage, I've never been there.
Denver?
Yes.
Yes.
It does seem like a very hard place to win on the road.
Doesn't scare me. Jaguars did fine there.
Yeah, fair
That
enough.
team lost at home.
My Ravens won a Super Bowl going through that path.
You know
on
what
the
I
road
don't
against
like?
Peyton Manning.
Well, how do you feel this weekend? Let me tell you that. Do you think the Niners have a better chance to beat Seattle on the road, or the Broncos have a better chance to beat the Bills at home?
The numbers are very lopsided in that question. It tells you I'm more confident in the Bills beating the Broncos than the Niners beating the Seahawks.
Well, let me flip that. Broncos beating the Bills comparatively to the Niners beating.
Oh, I'm much more confident in. Yeah, I'm much more confident
The Broncos
in the
beating the Bills.
Broncos beating
Oh,
the
you
Bills
said that,
than I
okay.
am. Yeah, the Niners beating the Seahawks for sure.
I'm going 70-30 in favor of the Bills. That's my gut. And the thing is, I want the Bills to lose. I do. I can't stand that. Hey, wait, I can't do that. I can't do it. Let's go Buffalo. I can't do it. I listened to it all weekend.
I had heavy Bills fatigue in the 2022 season. That was the DeMar Hamlin season.
Right.
And every single video package was about this team of destiny, Buffalo Bills. And I believe that was also the year of which the Bengals knocked off the Bills in their home building.
Because remember, they played in Week 14, and then it was the whole trying to reschedule it. That whole conundrum came, and then they played again about a month and a half later.
So I feel you on reluctantly saying the Bills would probably move on in this situation.
I mean, Bo Nix has not traditionally been good against a playoff team. And this is the same team they played last year, whether you want to say it's one side or the other. The Broncos lost to the Bills last year in the postseason 35-7. 35-7. And I think everybody's under the same impression that the Broncos are begging to lose. They've been begging to. They got a great defense. If that defense gets caught, that's what Jacksonville did. If you catch that defense, and I understand the funny part is about the Bills is, Christian, we thought the Bills wide receiver room was depleted on Sunday. Since then, Gabe Davis, injury reserve. Tyrell Shavers, injury reserve. So they've lost 2 contributing receivers on that team. They didn't lose Brandon Cooks or Shakir, but they lost 2 contributing receivers on that point. And you're going against Pat Surtain, who's, if not the best cornerback in the entire league. I get it.
So a better chance to win the Super Bowl, Broncos or Niners?
I like Shanahan and Brock Purdy. I like the guy who's 5-2 in playoff games more than I like Sean Payton in the Broncos. I think you go Broncos here.
Number 5.
The Broncos.
Number 4.
I'd be okay with the Niners here.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem with the Niners here. And I think that everybody else has a substantially better argument than the rest.
No George Kittle.
Yeah, that hurts. No George Kittle and no Fred Warner this weekend. So this game will be challenging. But I do think the thing that Niners have is everybody in the back of their mind, even if you trust Seattle as a 1 seed, everybody in the back of their mind has the Sam Darnold meltdown game in the back of their head. Everybody is thinking about potentially Sam Darnold blowing up in a postseason spot, something that we've seen before, and he can't move the ball offensively. And if all of a sudden they can't move the ball offensively, it's anybody's game. Anybody's game. Sam Darnold did not do much against the Niners in week 18. That was the last time we saw him. I know they're at home this time. It'll be a tough game to win twice. I'm going to go, but the Niners are going to be number 4.
Yeah. If the Niners make it through this weekend, they have probably, I like them. I don't love them. I don't know if I would pick them, but they match up very well against everyone else in the NFL. That's what I would say. This will be the toughest game they play in the playoffs if they win a Super Bowl. It will be this game.
Absolutely. And they'll have it at home. Keep that in mind. They'll have it in their building.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, that is.
Yeah.
And the problem is they're either going to Chicago, and I don't think they want to play Chicago again. I think they'd ask for the Rams. I really do. I do not think they would ask for Chicago again. And because they don't want to go to Chicago and play in that tundra. They don't want to do that. So I think if they were to somehow get past that game and they're watching Sunday Night Football, I do think they're rooting for the Rams. And that sounds crazy. They'd want to root against the inexperienced, but I don't think they want to go to Chicago.
And there is some voodoo Auburn Tigers magic going on in Chicago right now.
It's weird, and I'm not sure. Maybe you don't buy it because they haven't put together 4 quarters, but there was something to it. That game, that stadium's going to be windy, cold, snowy, and 9 degrees. I don't know. I wouldn't want to play there if I was San Francisco, especially the team that I played 3 weeks ago.
So now we get to the top 3 teams that have the best chance at winning this year's Super Bowl. You had the Niners at 4.
Number 3.
I think you put the Bills here.
Bills have a worse chance than the Seahawks and the Rams. That's what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying. I think they said the Bills have a slightly better chance than San Francisco, and I think three NFC teams, NFC West teams, are the top 4 most likely to win the whole thing. Would you agree with this?
I'm betting on the Bills if they're playing the Rams in their Super Bowl. Like, certify it. Like, I just am.
Somebody's got to come out of the AFC. I totally get it. But I'm talking about most likely to win it. Maybe the Bills are the most likely to get there, so statistically, they probably have the better chances at just winning a game. But I would say off of the team confidence meter, the one thing about Buffalo is they have nothing offensively. They have James Cook, Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid, and Khalil Shakir. That is it. And they're going to have to win 3 road games to get to the Super Bowl. Therefore, I would put them at 3.
Number 2.
Who is your favorite to win the Super Bowl, the Seahawks or the Rams?
Very, very hypocritical of myself because I just said the Bills are going to have to win 3 straight road games and the Rams are going to have to do the same. I'm going to go with Seattle at 2. Because
Number 1.
the Sam Darnold meltdown game, you're never shaking that unless he puts a ring on his finger for a Super Bowl championship. Sam Darnold meltdown game playoffs will always be in the back of everybody's head. Rams are number 1. If you don't think the Rams are number 1, despite them not playing great against the Panthers, it's the most postseason coded team of everybody remaining. McVay is the best coach remaining. Matthew Stafford, outside of Josh Allen, is the guy you'd rely on the most in a postseason environment out of anybody right now. I don't care if you say Drake May or not. You're taking Matthew Stafford in a big spot. They have the best skill position receiver of the bunch in Puka Nacua. They're a balanced team. They have a ton of young, great coaches. I know it's winning on the road, but it's possible when you have a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame quarterback. I would put the Rams at 1, Seattle at 2. So you got Seattle at 1, Rams at 1 for the most likely to win the Super Bowl, Seattle at 2. We put the Bills in at number 3, which I can't stand it because I can't wait for them to lose, and if they lose. We put the Niners at 4. We put the Broncos, a 1 seed, at 5. We put the Bears, despite them having home games, at 6. We put the Texans at 7 and the Patriots at 8.
Yeah, so I did this ethically. I didn't use the cheat sheet of Hard Rock Bet up on my phone. I instead just used my guts and my wits. And now I'm going to cross-reference it.
Okay.
Hard Rock Bet gives you the actual, literal betting odds on to win Super Bowl 60. They have the Seahawks at 1 at plus 275.
Wow.
They've got the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, fair enough.
In second at plus 325. A little bit of a drop-off, plus 575 for the Bills.
Well,
for the Patriots. All the way up at the 4th highest favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Don't
plus
buy
600.
it. I don't buy it.
Very comparable with the Bills. They're given the same number there. Broncos in 5th at
Perfect.
plus 700.
I knew it. Love that. Great
the
spot.
distrust is not just up here.
Great
it's
stuff.
around.
Great stuff. Continue.
The Texans at 6.
Texans
at
got a
plus
better chance
850.
than the Bears.
Bears almost half as likely to win the Super Bowl than the Texans at plus 1,400.
Oh my gosh.
And the 49ers, I'm shocked they even put these odds out there. Niners as plus 2,000, 20 to 1
That
to
is
win the
worth
Super
the
Bowl.
flyer. That is worth the flyer.
Yeah. For our radio audience, Colin just pulled up his phone.
That is
to pull out
worth the
his
flyer.
wallet
Are
and
you
get
crazy?
The Niners right now, you can get 20 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. a team with the same coach and quarterback that played the Chiefs to overtime just a couple of years ago.
How much do you think those odds are going to change if they somehow beat Seattle this weekend? They're going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I think if the Niners beat the Seahawks, they'll probably be second or third.
They won't be fourth. I'll tell you that. They won't be fourth.
When's their game?
It's Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah. With still 2 other games to be played. It'll be 6 teams remaining, right? Yeah, 4
teams remaining.
Well, I'm saying on Saturday night. They win the game Saturday. You still have 2 other games.
I'm following. In that case, you'd eliminate Seattle and you'd eliminate one of the Broncos or the Bills. Wow. I'm taking plus 2,000. Guys, $5 bet plays 105. Just for San Francisco to take a flyer, that's worth it.
And the bare minimum, you could hedge that if they win their next game and then bet on whoever comes out of the AFC.
Bet placed. Hard Rock Bet. Download the app today. Jeez. That's ridiculous. That was our top 8 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. But I just placed it. San Francisco, the 49ers, who everybody was lauding. They just beat the defending champions in the defending champions building. And they have a guy who has been to a Super Bowl, who's 5-2 as a starter in the playoffs, and has 4 game-winning drives, which, by the way, is the 5th most, tied for the 5th most all time already. Brock Purdy. And they have Kyle Shanahan, who has been to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, Purdy himself, and he got there with Matt Ryan despite him blowing the game. He's been to a Super Bowl with a lot of different guys. He's had great years with a lot of different guys. That is crazy odds for San Francisco to be plus 2,000, the bottom of the bunch in terms of odds to win the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 60. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today, and you can make a bet like that. You can check out the futures. You can check out game-by-game, player props, live betting, game-by-game, league-by-league. Anything you want, Hard Rock Bet has. And the best part is, if you start today, sign up, bet your first $5 bet. If you win that first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets immediately deposited into your account. It is that easy. And if you're not even sure what to bet, you can see what profit boosts and promos they have throughout the weekend, including the national championship, which is going to be at Hard Rock Stadium, so stay tuned for some stuff there. And you could bet Indiana, Miami. You could bet all of that in one spot. Parlay it all together. Go game by game. Put little, put a lot. Do what you got to do. Get on Hard Rock Bet today. Go down the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Hard Rock Bet is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus. Physically present in for the wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Christian Cat, Colin Russo with you as we enter into the second hour of Russo and Rizzo, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. We'll do a little 5 and 5 on the other side of things. Stay tuned for it. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At HSS, movement is their specialty. Their team of experts provide personalized treatment options backed by over 160 years of orthopedic expertise. Whether you need advanced non-surgical solutions, surgical care, or comprehensive rehabilitation, HSS Florida delivers the exceptional quality care you expect from HSS, the nation's #1 in orthopedics. With 3 locations in West Palm Beach, Wellington, and now Jupiter, expert care has never been closer to home. Choose better, move better. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
The 4 p.m. hour on ESPN 106.3 is served by the Delray Beach Open. 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Get your tickets today at DelrayBeachOpen.com.
Banyan Printing, your trusted partner for all your printing and signage needs. With 48 years of local service, over 1,000 customers choose Banyan for fast turnaround, free delivery, consistent results, and market-leading customer service. Banyan's all-in-one solution saves businesses time and resources. From business cards and brochures to direct mail services and signage, they eliminate the hassle of multiple vendors. If you're unsure you're getting the best service or value, visit banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 27 national championships, including their 3rd championship in women's soccer. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship athletic programs at Kaiser University.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Hey, y'all see Hard Rock Bet has new promos daily?
Y'all looking for me, John Daly?
No, John. We're just talking about Hard Rock Bet promos.
So not me, John Daly.
No, promos daily. Like bonus bets or profit boosts.
That's my kind of promo.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Miami's always hunting for a national championship. I'm attorney Brian Lebovic. As proud UM alums, we know how to compete at the highest level.
I'm Esther Lebovic. At the Lebovic Law Group, we bring a championship mindset to every injury case. Preparation, discipline, and relentless execution.
When a client's future is on the line, we don't just show up, we play to win.
Don't wait. Dial 8-561-888-8888. No fee unless we win for you.
Visit Lebovic.com.
Go Miami!
Hiring a lawyer is an important decision. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
The PGA Tour is back in Palm Beach. The Cognizant Classic returns February 25th through March 1st to the Champion Course at PGA National Resort and Spa. Be here to watch PGA Tour players take on the Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf, while enjoying elevated fan activities around every corner. Experience the energy with your friends and take in the excitement of this can't-miss event. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Hey, Colin man.
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Let's kick off the new year with a home upgrade that's a win for you and the environment. A Culligan high-efficiency water softener helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals. Talk about a game-winning play. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. Visit Culligan.com for more information and to schedule your free water test. Or just say,
Hey, Colin man.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Thieves are stealing property every day throughout Florida, and it can happen to anyone. Hi, I'm Mike Caruso, your clerk of court of Palm Beach County, here to tell you about my office's free property fraud alert service. Just sign up at mypalmbeachclerk.com/property fraud, and you'll get an email anytime a document is recorded in your name, address, or property parcel number. Stop them and sign up for property fraud alert. It only takes a minute to register at mypalmbeachclerk.com/PFA.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game! Rizzo
Rizzo. Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3, the 15th of January, 2026. Hope everybody's having fun aboard. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm and ESPN South Florida on YouTube. Catch us in all those spots and on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Just go to Russo and Rizzo, and you can listen to us fully commercial free. You get Christian Cat behind the glass. No Mike Rizzo today, just me, myself, Colin Russo. You've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall. My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident 30s. They're here to fight for you. They didn't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand the best. Go demand Anajar and Levine, because all it takes is that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call it the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. Christian Cat, our producer today. Christian, what's going on? How you doing today?
I am anxious because I have a flight to catch at Fort Lauderdale at 9:25.
You have plenty of time.
But I'm not driving down there because I'm flying back into South Florida for the national championship game. And we don't have that many parking passes, so I'm carpooling. So Theo's going to pick me up
from Fort Lauderdale Airport.
Yep. We did the same exact thing for Heat Media Day, where I flew out for the weekend and flew back. He scooped me up on the way down. So I'm taking the Tri-Rail. I looked at Uber prices. I don't want to pay $100 to get to the airport. Sorry. Just not for me today. I instead am taking the cheaper version, which is the train that we have to the west of us. And I've had bad experiences with it in the past. Certainly have. Had trains cancel on me. Had to sprint from the train station to the parking garage, get back in my car, and just had to swallow the pill that I need to drive down there and pay for parking. Hopefully it does not happen. I'm begging. So, yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the time.
What time is the train?
I think 6:30.
Okay.
So, it's nothing I can do about it.
Is that an hour train?
No. It stops everywhere.
Well, I know. I thought the Tri-Rail took an hour to get to Fort Lauderdale.
No. It's gonna take you like maybe the commercialized train that we have further east that hits a bunch of people sometimes. That one's a lot faster. It's a lot nicer. And
we have
you're
a
a lot
teammate
safer.
of ours who takes that every single day, and I thought he was always telling me there was an hour. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe he's getting it in advantageous times, and I'm in the rush hour and whatever.
Because it is an express train. All right? It's a localized train. So because of that, you are, you're stopping every 3 streets.
Let's see. So we're starting at the West Palm station, and I'm going to
Fort Lauderdale Airport?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't stop at the airport, does it?
I think it does. It stops right at the airport, which is pretty cool.
That's nice. Okay, I thought you had to go in Uber.
So my 6:36 train.
I thought it was the Miami train.
You know what? I'm worrying about nothing. Yeah, it's an hour and 6 minutes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I could hang out here.
Is the stop called
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale.
Does it go to the Miami? Do you have it all right there? Does it go to the Miami International?
I've done this before, and I went to the Miami one that time for a flight abroad that was at midnight, so I really was in no rush after work. And yes, Miami Airport Station. If you get on it, 6:30.
Does it go right to the airport?
All right, I don't think the schedule is wrong. It does go right to the airport. Yes.
Okay. I think Fort Lauderdale might be the one where you have to get on the shuttle. I don't think it goes to both. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
I'd have to double check. I don't know. I've never done it, but I do know.
I do know the Miami one does go straight to the airport. If it's only one or the other, it's guaranteed to be Miami because I did do that once.
Maybe it is both. I'm not sure. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you'll be fine. 9 o'clock flight?
9:25 flight.
Oh, plenty of time. What airline?
Spirit.
Okay.
They had to cancel one of my flights during the government shutdown, so they gave me a $30 voucher in addition to my refund that I had to wait 3 months to get.
Okay.
So, oops, sorry that happened to you. In consolation, you can fly on our airline again.
I just booked a flight. I'm going to be in Madison, Wisconsin, with a bunch of my college buddies in March, and we're all just meeting up out there. A lot of Chicago guys, and I had a decision to make between 2 flights. I could either fly back from Madison, Wisconsin to connect via on Delta to Palm Beach International, and I could either do it because for some reason the middle of the day one was completely sold out, which you never see in these days. But point is, it was a 6 a.m. flight, which connects in Minneapolis, St. Paul for 3 hours and 34 minutes.
So you're flying west, right? Minneapolis is west of Madison?
Yeah, it's about an hour west, hour northwest. Or you wait until 6 o'clock p.m. to fly through Atlanta and have like an hour, 10-minute delay. And it was $60 more. I went with the early option.
To hang out in the Minneapolis airport?
Yeah. And I think it's going to be the worst morning of my life. I'm going to be honest with you. Because it's one of those things, it's going to be a Saturday night in Madison, Wisconsin with all your college friends. Like, that's going to be like, we're going to be drinking. So it's going to be one of those things where, 4 a.m. I'm on my way to the airport.
Ooh.
And that will be hanging out in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Luckily, I know a bunch of people who are from that area, and I asked about the airport was, and they said they have a golf simulator. And I said, I find it very hard to believe me hitting balls at 7 a.m. in Minneapolis, St. Paul on a Sunday morning. But maybe.
You're going to be one of those weirdos. I don't get why people do this. They lay on the floor in the airport.
Never. I've slept in the chairs before. But
it happens all too often.
I don't sit on the floor. I have slept in the chairs.
And what they'll do is they'll lay on the floor in front of chairs. So they'll take up six different chairs.
Because the chairs don't have a lot of the times they don't have a lifted armrest.
Right. And that's by design, right? To not allow you to lay on them that way. But you end up taking up 6 chairs anyway. I've slept once because I had to for an 8-hour. There was a flight to Vegas that I was supposed to get on at 6 a.m. and it just got canceled, flat out canceled. I had to take a shuttle to a different New York airport, and then I had to wait for 7 hours at the airport. So I did sleep on the floor once. I went against my golden rule.
You could go home at that point.
It's so annoying when you live in the suburbs of New York to get to the city. My mom dropped me off in the morning. I wasn't going to make her come pick me up.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that was a pain. But it is so inconsiderate to take up that many chairs at an airport gate.
Yeah, and especially when it's, unless you need to, overnight, we could have there's plenty of spots.
Yeah, you just hide in a corner somewhere.
Yeah. But it's
they were at the gate, like right there where you enter the plane.
Yeah, very inconsiderate. I completely agree with you. And I've only slept in an airport once or twice. And the one time that really comes to mind is Santo Domingo in Dominican Republic, which is no Four Seasons of an airport, let's put it that way. And it was one of those situations where I had an initial flight at 2:20 p.m., Santo Domingo to New York, and it did not take off until 9:45 a.m. the next day. So it was a little under about 18 hours, 19 hours of like delays. And it was only hour by hour. And eventually, when I got to 12 midnight on that same flight, they canceled it and they rebooked for the next morning. So you just hung out in the airport all day, and it was JetBlue. I'll say it. It was JetBlue, and they gave us these godforsaken vouchers that were for like $8 a piece, and there was only one place open in the entire airport for about a 12-hour period in that Santo Domingo airport. Worst travel day of my entire life. I slept on the chairs, like underneath the armrests.
Oh, okay.
And because there was like a little pocket.
Through.
Yeah, there's like a little pocket. You were able to do it. And so you slept underneath it. And I slept, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever it might have been. And to this day, I have never, ever been bothered by delays, cancellations, tough travel days because of that.
It can always be worse.
It could always be worse. And I think that's something that every person needs to experience something like that. You need to have such an awful travel day that nothing else could live up to it. Therefore, the travel day is not bad. That's what you need. You need to manufacture that. So if there's a 24-hour Greyhound bus ride that you could take instead of a $100 plane, and you want to up your tolerance a little bit, take the Greyhound.
It'll pay dividends.
It will. And I do think it makes a difference. So that was by far the worst travel day I've ever had. And remember, I was staying at a village like 2 or 3 hours outside of Santo Domingo. So for a 2:00 flight, I was in the bus on the way to the airport at like 7 a.m. So I took the bus, then you get to the airport, and then the whole charade happens. Now, it was about for a 3-hour flight, that was a 27-hour travel day, 28-hour travel day. So it could be worse. could be worse. And I haven't done the Southeast Asia, Australia route yet, which are where the real bad travel days last. So outside of that, I think that's where you look and you think, all right, if I want to build a tolerance of terrible travel days, do that.
I have heard you can take some of the worst travel days just not through the air, just on the train. Like taking those Amtraks across the continental United States.
And those are unnecessarily the slowest trains ever. I've always been in favor. I don't understand how the United States does not have high-speed rails all over the country. I really don't. The Amtrak goes 61 miles an hour, and it goes at an express pace. It stops in a number of places. There are no high speed. I don't understand. It would be a perfect alternative to airlines. And I think part of the reason that they don't build it is because of airlines.
Yeah, they're pretty important people that run the airlines, and that would hurt them.
Whatever the government lobbyists want to do, they don't want to build that. They don't want to fund that because it just hurts the competition for that. And I do think that would be the best thing ever. And you think America's too big? Nonsense. There are so many metropolitan major areas on the East Coast that could all be connected via rail and it'd be okay.
So someone took the America's longest train route, which began in Miami, and it went to Anchorage, Alaska.
Wow.
There was like a ferry that you had to take eventually at one point.
It had to take weeks, like a week.
Yeah, exactly. And the amounts of delays that you go through when you go on a long train route.
So this is like a social experiment almost?
Yeah, like it's a YouTuber, right? Like just someone that puts together those experiences. They vlog the whole thing. They document their experiences. Yeah, he did that. And it was extremely humbling. It was disastrous. There was fires on the train coming out of the kitchen. The longest train I've ever taken was a 5-hour train from New York City to like somewhere in Maryland or Virginia.
DC?
Yeah.
I think it's about a 4 or 5 hour train. Yeah.
And that was kind of whatever. Like nothing eventful happened. It was just point A to point B.
Right.
No issues there. But I cannot imagine people that are afraid of flying that drive everywhere, like Mark Fletcher's mom from the Miami Hurricanes.
Right.
I don't know if she's afraid of flying or I don't know why she doesn't fly, but she drives to every game.
There are people like that. They don't try. They're much more suited for the cars. And I don't think car travel days are nearly as bad as what it is. Cars you can control.
True.
When you control the controllables and you just got to sit there driving for a while, it's one thing. But when you're on a train and it's delayed and you set expectations for when you're going to get there and you don't, and you miss a flight, you feel like, what could I have done different? That eats at you way more than a bad car travel day where you just maybe have bad luck, where a flat tire might delay you a little bit. But outside of that, you can't control it. So schedule one. If you have a terrible travel day, do one. That's what I was thinking about, and it's not a bad travel day, but doing a Greyhound to like an FSU game. And you go from here to Tallahassee, which I imagine via Greyhound is, I think it's a 7-hour drive. I would imagine that's 10 hours. I'd imagine that's 10 hours. I got to imagine they add 2-3 hours because of the bus. And I think that would be a fun, like, go up on a Saturday morning, come back on a Sunday morning. So you have to take it twice, basically, in a 24-hour period, and then you go to the game. There's your terrible travel day.
You use the word fun. Very bad use of vocabulary. You think it would be fun to Greyhound up to Tallahassee and back from South Florida?
Be a heck of a story. If there's a story attached to it, I'm willing to do it.
You won't be alive to tell the story.
Yeah.
Someone's going down. You're either behind bars or like the cast of characters. See, right now listening to is the car people on the FM dial. The car people are cool people. The car people are good people. Bus people can be rough.
I tell you.
Bus people.
Believe me, I know.
I've been a bus person once.
I love the bus.
I took a bus from Miami to Orlando to go to Universal for a weekend getaway. Never again.
Wow.
To quote the Mike Rizzo book of phrases that he uses when he talks about personal experiences. Awful. Dude,
wow.
So bad. The bus broke down at one point. So the the driver like pulled into this rest stop and he left the door closed and no AC on. And there was a mutiny about to happen because of how like hot it was in Florida in the middle of summer and no AC pumping. Doors were closed, so we got him to open the doors up and let us out to meander around a little bit. It was awful, dude.
Wow.
Lost my hat. My fault, but still.
I always took there's a Greyhound from the O'Hare Airport or downtown Chicago to Madison, Wisconsin, which is about, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And it stops in a bunch of different random spots. It stops in Rockford, Illinois. It stops in Janesville, Wisconsin. It stops in a bunch of different godforsaken locations. And it stays there. So you could, go out and stretch your legs here for 5 minutes if you really want to. And the Greyhound people, it's like a shared experience. And a lot of times it's college kids, but if you go around the different times of year, you can really get some people that are making the trek. And it's a lot, in my opinion, it's funny. It's funny. You got to learn to laugh about it. I've seen, if you're in a terrible travel experience, you got to learn to like the people watch. You got to learn to love watching everybody suffer because, if anything, it will provide a little bit of entertainment. It will be a sense of entertainment. That's what you're looking for. But baseball fans, spring training 2026 is officially underway. Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches is the place to be this season. Right here in West Palm Beach, you got the Astros and the Nationals hosting some of baseball's biggest names. Catch the Cardinals, catch the Mets, catch the Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates, even Team Venezuela all spring long. Nothing beats a day at Cacti Park. That sunshine, the crack of the bat, cold drinks, amazing ballpark eats. It really is the best seat in baseball. Spring training runs now through March 22nd. Tickets are selling fast. Cacti Park is bringing back fan-favorite promotions like Bark of the Park, fireworks, you name it, they got it. Visit cactipark.com to lock in your seats. Go get a family four-pack with 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 chips. Spring training baseball is here in West Palm Beach. Don't miss a moment. Now, it's interesting because we mentioned Cacti Park, and weirdly enough, I am auditioning to sing a national anthem at Cacti Park at a ball game this coming spring training season. I'm doing this tomorrow. As to my understanding, I do not get a mic.
No.
But I
better
do know,
or worse?
I would rather the mic.
All natural
there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for me to get. I imagine they're going to hook it up to I thought they were going to hook it up to the ballpark speakers. You got to hear it with the acoustics.
True.
But it's one of those things where they got 20 some odd, 30 some odd home games, and they want, I think, 30 people. So I have no idea how many people are going to show up. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not a process of elimination. We need to take them. But if I am selected from this bunch of people that are going to sing the national anthem tomorrow at Cacti Park, they will give me a game to do.
You sang you did karaoke for Kings of Leon about a year ago now on these airwaves.
Yes.
And you have a pretty good singing voice.
See, the thing is, I am very particular in the type of tone that I could do. So we'll see. And I'm going to be honest, I don't even know the full words. I'm going to have to brush up on the national anthem. I don't even know the full
words. We're going to do that next.
I'm not singing the national anthem.
You're not going to sing it. You got to recite it.
Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that live. So I'm not going to look up anything, but we'll do that, and we'll do some 5 and 5. It's Christian Cat, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
College football fans, it's time. The ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour is rolling into City Place, West Palm Beach. Join us Saturday night, January 17th from 4 to 8 for live ESPN radio shows. We'll have awesome giveaways. You can try your shot at our Serve Pro Rapid Response Reflex game, a Robin Hood football toss, and maybe even grab a free Monster Energy drink. Bring your friends, rep your school, and be part of the action as ESPN Radio takes over City Place. Saturday, January 17th from 4 to 8 at City Place, West Palm Beach.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most. Getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Many people start trimming trees when they hear a storm is on the way, but that leaves piles of branches on the ground that could become dangerous projectiles during a storm. Instead, having a year-round trimming plan is better for you, your neighbors, and the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. When trimming is done correctly and on schedule, your trees are stronger and more resistant to wind damage. After the storm passes, there's less vegetative debris, helping the SWA clean up your community faster. Learn more at swa.org/storm.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Refresh your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Reimagine your bathroom with up to 40% off select faucets during our Bath Savings event. Need it today? Order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items, subject to availability. Fees vary. Visit Lowes.com/same-day delivery for full terms.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
I'm only human, y'all.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season is over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because of more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. That means no off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. It's always in season. Get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today. Colin Russo and Christian Cat with you. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. No Mike Rizzo today. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm and ESPN South Florida. All right, Christian, let's knock this out quickly. At Cacti Park tomorrow, I am officially auditioning to sing the national anthem. And what does that mean? I am auditioning for an opportunity to sing before an actual game. So there's a bunch of people lining up at Cacti Park trying to sing as an audition process, and I guess you get selected to do a game or a specific one or not. I know we're good friends with Cacti Park. There is going to be no inside track information. There is going to be no favoritism on that end. I am going to be chosen only and for only my merits. Now, the problem is I'm not even 100% confident I know the words.
Got homework to do. Got to study a little bit.
So I got to. Are you confident? I'll do it, but are you confident you know the words?
No.
Okay.
So first things first.
I don't want to sing it. Can I not sing it?
You don't have to sing it. That'll be recorded when you have your big performance. That's unfair to you. We don't need to see how the sausage is made.
So I'm going to try to go through the lyrics, but I think it's actually harder because you don't have the rhythm.
That's true. Yeah.
You don't have the rhythm.
So what is the title of the song of the national anthem?
Star Spangled Banner.
Is there a hyphen or no hyphen between star and spangled?
It's probably a no hyphen.
All right, off to a tough start.
Geez,
the Star-Spangled Banner.
All right. Jeez, that was an obvious one. That's just grammar 101. But I understand. That's grammar 101. I should have gotten that.
All right.
All right, so do I just want me to get going?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a buzzer if you get it wrong.
All right, so I'm going to go word for word. I'm going to try to go sentence by sentence. And the problem is I'll get the gist. So even if there's a minor mistake, you got to press the buzzer, okay?
Okay.
Oh, say, can you see? Wow. All right, we're on a good start. So I don't know what the word is. From the Daunted We Lie?
Wow.
From the Daughterly Lines?
You got one word out of everything you said correct there.
Go
the
ahead.
word the. By the dawn's early light.
Wow. Jeez.
So like when you're like
I'm following now. That makes sense. I just hear like dawned early and I just like
okay, so I can see you don't really
oh,
say the
can
word.
you see by the dawn's early light. All right,
Okay.
now I'm rolling.
We got some momentum.
All right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail? Wow.
I'm going to give you
I'm
I'm going to give you grace on tense. Hailed past tense.
All right,
You
what
said
so
hail.
proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming.
All right.
All right, Christian,
Yeah.
we're rolling. Stop. Stop. Don't say anything yet. The problem is
You wanna
it's
keep the ball
picking up.
rolling,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. The twilight's last gleaming. Whose bright stripes and bright stars?
Okay. They didn't use the word bright twice.
Whose bright stripes and white stars?
No. They used bright the second time, not the first time.
Whose white stripes and bright stars?
It doesn't rhyme. Whose broad stripes
No,
and
really?
bright stars.
Okay, that doesn't ring a bell to me. Interesting. Whose broad stripes and bright stars? Got it.
Mhm.
I thought it was white. Okay. Because that does make sense, by the way, in the context of the flag. So before you come after me, that makes sense in the context of the flag. All right. Whose broad stripes and bright stars to or through? I'm going to go through the perilous fight.
Hey,
All right,
good
yeah.
coin flip
All
decision.
right, I like that. All right. Through the perilous fight. See, I'm going back to what so proudly we hailed. All right, and now I need rhythm here.
I'll
So
be-
no, let me go back. So
If it helps you, I will sing the line that you just got correct so that you can take it from there.
yeah,
I'll toss the
I
baton
need.
to
You know what? I need rhythm here. I
It's
need
like
a
you're
rhythm.
stepping into a three.
Okay.
You need someone
I need to
passing
catch
the ball.
and shoot. I need
Yeah.
to catch and shoot. Go ahead.
Through the perilous fight. Excuse me.
What's so? Again, this I keep going back to what so proudly we hailed at the twilight. I'm just like reversing it.
Through the perilous fight.
What's so? Is it what so?
No.
No, it's not. Is it? Well, give me the first word. First word. I don't only want the first word.
It's a slang version of the word over or.
Yeah. Yes. Or. All right. Through the perilous fight. Not next word.
Or the This word, you do not know what this word means.
Or the
Ramparts we watched.
ramparts we watched. That's a tough one. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. If you want to sit in your car saying, "Oh, what an idiot," please. That was a tough one. All right. Or what ramparts we watched.
The ramparts we watched.
Or the ramparts we watched. We so gallantly streaming.
Close. We're so gallantly streaming.
We're so gallantly streaming. What did I say? Well, yeah, we're so gallant. Okay. We're so gallantly streaming.
We're so gallantly streaming.
No, you had the rhythm wrong there. I think.
Streaming.
It was all right. Through the perilous fight or the ramparts we watched.
We're so gallantly
streaming.
streaming.
And whose bright stripes and bright stars?
See, you're going back to what you did already. They're different words.
I know.
You did the same thing with so proudly we hailed.
I know.
We're so gallantly streaming. Think about it when you're at a football game and when this line happens, something happens in the stadium.
This is very unpatriotic of me. I'm going to be completely honest, and I apologize to the Patriots that are listening.
Yeah, got some revocation of some.
I know how to fold a flag. I could do that. National anthem we're struggling with. All right, so let's circle back a little bit. So, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Yes, end of sentence.
End of sentence. This is when people get loud and then you start applauding. You start applauding in this part of the song.
Right.
This is when you can
Someone lit a fuse when they said we're so gallantly streaming. And the Rockets, red
bear,
glare.
Whose bombs bursting in air?
The bombs
bursting in air. Came true through the night.
Gave proof.
Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
On the money.
All right, now I'm cooking.
All right.
That our flag was still there.
Now when you're betting on the anthem time at the Super Bowl, you start sweating. How long are they going to stretch this part out?
Okay. So that our flag was still there. Now I'm circling back. Dude, this is hard to remember, do off complete
It's the home
recollection.
stretch. You've got two more sentences
I know,
left.
and I just need to get rolling, and I'll know it. But this is very hard to pick up from recollection. And the funny part is you listen to it before every football game. Before every single football game. And every game you've ever been doing in your entire life, including the high school sports, they do this before the game.
All right. You'll do it with me. I'm reading the lyric.
No, hold on.
Okay, you want a fair shot.
Go
okay,
back before. Let's do the previous sentence.
Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
He's on a roll. Take it home.
No, stop. I just lost my rhythm. All right. Where was I just now?
Say
does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land?
O'er. Went
for
back
the
to
land,
that word.
Is it o'er the land?
Yeah.
And of the free and the home of the brave.
All right.
Wow. I would not pass a civics test. My goodness. That's not good.
Enjoy your visa, pal.
Yeah.
You're not in citizenship.
People are listening right now who do not want me to have my citizenship anymore. That is unbelievable.
All right, so now you've got the answers. I will not do what I want to do, just because I got to consider our audience. I won't make you do it again now that you have the answers.
Yeah.
But I will advise you to do a little bit of homework.
Yeah. Dude, doing that off the top is going to be nerve-wracking. I'm going to tell you right now, because you're going to forget, and then everybody's going to be like, he's not a patriot.
What if they make you go first? Because there's going to be a bunch of people, right? So it'll help if
I'm
you're
not gonna
15th in line.
It starts at 11. I won't be there at 11. I'll be there a little later on. So the good news is, if everybody's doing it in front of each other, I'll be able to hear other people's lyrics.
This is where?
At Cacti Park.
All right.
So Cacti Park, national anthem auditions. Who knows? But I'm auditioning for some reason.
Is this an open thing, or is this like
I think
people
it
are
is.
invited?
I think it's open. I think you can sign up. Go check it out at cactipark.com. Not good.
You got to check your email, dude.
I'm a little ashamed by that. 888-760-3776. Was that disgraceful that I was not able to recite via words, not via rhythm, the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner by heart? 888-760-3776. Colin, Russo, Christian Cat. We'll close things out, do a little 5 at 5 on the other side of things. First things first. If you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, the type that like to fight for you. They don't charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand the top aligned. Demand Anajar and Levine today, because all it takes is that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call with free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. I'm going to need to do some homework, do some practice rounds of the national anthem, but we'll do a little 5 at 5 on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, you're seeing the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it is prime time. Season 2 of TGL, presented by SoFi, is back. It's here with big moments, big personalities, nonstop action on the big screen. That's shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, city versus city, squad versus squad. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. It's up in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Go visit tglgolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL, presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Colin, Russo, Christian, Cat. Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Yes.
Man, people had 2 minutes to stew over that rendition of the national anthem.
What I would say, and I'm not defending myself because I deserve it. There was a very unpatriotic performance on my part. Try reciting something without rhythm of the lyrics. Try that.
Would you be better at naming all of the presidents?
I would do better at that. I would do substantially better at that.
All right. We found our fifth topic of the 5 at 5%.
You want to go through all that? We can figure that. I could probably do an order through 1 through 12, and then I'd screw up in the 12s through 20s. And then once we pick up post-Lincoln, which would be 16, 17, 18, I'd be okay. And then early 20s, I'd struggle pre-World War I. And then from World War I to present, I'd be fine. So we'll see. Nonetheless, 5 at 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Well, the defending Super Bowl champions are not getting ready for NFL divisional weekend. They're at home. Season's over. Eagles lost to the 49ers. Well, the Eagles general manager, Howie Roseman, did not give a specific answer when asked whether the team would be open to be trading disgruntled wide receiver A.J. Brown. He said, quote, "It's hard to find great players in the NFL, and A.J. Brown's a great player." He continued, according to NFL Network's Mike Garafolo, "That's what we're going to go out and look for. When we go out in free agency and the draft, is trying to find great players who love football. He's one of those guys." So that would be my answer.
That's coach speak for, I've been very good at replacing players. Let's see if I'm any good at replacing a wide receiver. And then if I can't, he's going to be around. It also sounds like Howie Roseman's the one who understands A.J. Brown's talent, and he is the one desperately trying to get the coaching staff to make him a utilized player on a winning offense, because it seems like it's been one or the other. Either A.J. Brown's involved and they lose, or A.J. Brown's not involved and they're more competitive in the game. I think Howie Roseman's thinking, boy, can we just get somebody that knows how to use this guy properly with this offense, because this offense needs him? And it just seems like there's a disconnect between that and the actual production on the field. But I am under every impression that he will be traded, because he's just not worth the money to them at this point with the production that he is given. That would be my perspective.
Yeah, also for a general manager, you're looking at X's and O's. You're looking at productivity, how much someone's costs. He's not the head coach that has to deal with this guy, and is not having to bark at him on the sideline like the head coach Nick Sirianni has to do. So if I am the general manager, it's easy for me to say, hey, he's a great player. What are you talking about?
Right.
Best guy against one-on-one coverage. You've heard the whole spiel, when you don't have to be in that huddle.
So I think there is, I don't know about a disconnect, but it's clear he wants it to work more so than maybe the coaches have already come to the conclusion that it doesn't work.
Number 2.
We've got the college football playoff national championship game live from Hard Rock Stadium on Monday. Tickets right now for that game are sitting at the get-in price, $2,737. Jump on it now before it goes up. But those prices did come down from the mid-$3,000s in the past 24 hours. This is almost a dry run for the FIFA World Cup, which is also going to be coming to town in less than a year. FIFA said that it has received more than 500 million ticket requests for this year's World Cup.
How about that?
FIFA is asking for up to $8,680 per ticket. I don't really know where to go with this information. Well, first, attack the ticket prices to a national championship game. If your favorite college football team was in the national championship game and you could go to that game like Miami Hurricanes fans are able to without any travel, how much would you pay for a ticket?
Here's the thing. I am in the minority that I enjoy watching a game on television. I enjoy watching a game in a crowd of people. I enjoy watching a game with people that I know and I care about and I'm friends with. I enjoy that. I am not the type where it is ultra important for me to show up to the stadium, pay quite literally an arm and a leg to get into the just into the building. You're not sitting, you're not in a great seat, but just into the building to watch it when more likely than not you're either with one other person tops. That to me doesn't sound as appealing. Maybe that's it sounds a little, I haven't even been to a lot of playoff caliber games. We went to Jags Bills. We went to Jags Bills. I've been to an NBA Finals game. And that is it. I've never been to an NCAA tournament game. I've never been to a college football playoff game. I've never been to I've never been to an MLB playoff game. So I'm not one that is dying to get to a playoff game because I do enjoy the experience of seeing everything, and I think you do that on TV. So I wouldn't spend that much to answer your question. I wouldn't spend that much.
It's almost like a status symbol because of what Miami as a brand and program is and Miami as a city is.
If I had the money to spend, we'd have a conversation. But if I'm going to if I'm flying to somewhere to go watch this game, or if I'm a Miami Hurricane fan and I live locally, how about that? If I live locally and I got to spend $6,000 to go, 300 yards closer to the game than I could when I'm just, in the parking lot watching it on TV, that to me doesn't seem worth it. That really doesn't. I don't feel like, especially in a bad game, too much could go wrong that would completely blow up your investment. So I wouldn't spend that much. And maybe I'm in the minority on that. It's not terribly important to me to go to that. I think you'd have more fun at a Miami bar watching it with a bunch of Miami fans with food. You get a good spot. Everybody's watching the game. You get to talk to a bunch of like-minded Miami fans. I think you'd have just as much fun, if not more, doing it that way than you would at a game.
And you can spend that money and use that money for season tickets. Spend
that money and go on vacation.
Yeah.
Go book a week somewhere instead of paying money for that ticket.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I wouldn't do it. And I don't think that's crazy to say so. I think it's priced out. It's turned into a corporate event. It's the same reason that Super Bowl. If your team's in the Super Bowl, not a lot of people who have their fans are even priced in the range that they could go to the game. So I think it's the same thing. It's a corporate event. It's a corporate event more so than it is a fan event.
Number 3.
All right, now we know how to connect the dots here. So in that building, it's going to be Miami versus Indiana, a big deal for the United States. But in that building, also for the World Cup coming up, the most requested match in the third sales phase is Colombia versus Portugal on June 27th at Miami Gardens. That is the most requested game to get into for the upcoming FIFA World Cup.
Of the group stages.
Yeah, so the games that we have actually finalized and know who's going to play in which games. The reason why I bring that up is because if you go back in time 2 years now at the 2024 Copa America final at Hard Rock Stadium, people were climbing through air vents. They lost complete control of the security of the building.
Right.
And there's a big possibility the same thing can happen here. They got to learn the lesson.
Now, they probably did learn a lesson. Now, Copa America, I believe there is some governance in correspondence with FIFA, but it's not FIFA. So I do think that, number one, they're going to learn more from that. And number two, they're going to try to keep this, yes, it's going to be a crazy environment. There's nothing you can do about that. I'm under the impression that they're not going to let this get out of hand. I really don't. I think they're going to do a good job with that. And
there's going to be like military person, like there's going to, I don't know if that's the right word, but there's going to be important people there.
There's going to be, and that there's one thing there. Presidents are going to be there. Public officials are going to be there. Politicians are going to be there. All the biggest names you could think of. So that's going to increase security on top of that. And number two is the exclusivity of the game. They're going to want to make that ticket feel valuable. So they're going to want to make that. You're in the building. You got this ticket. Good. You're one of the lucky ones. And all of a sudden, if they sort of let the floodgates open, it's going to make it. It's going to ruin the experience for everybody else.
And also the problem, though, if those tickets are too expensive to where it's priced out, you're going to have people that. I think that's why.
That's the big problem with what are you going to do with it? What can you possibly do? It is the negative of just capitalism, because you can't price ceiling it, because then somebody's going to scoop them all up and just sell them under the table. You can't do anything about it. Right?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why Hard Rock is limiting the people that are allowed in the parking lots. Like, you got to have a ticket to the game in a lot of these instances in order to park there. Because if you let everyone and anyone around the stadium, eventually it's a numbers game.
Right.
And if you're there and you don't have a ticket, and you are joined by 300 other people that are there that don't have a ticket, you can have mob mentality, which we saw in the Copa America final in 2024. The countries that were in that game, it was Argentina and Colombia. Massive fan bases, of course. Colombia,
especially in South Florida.
Yes. Colombia will be in that game on June 27th as they take on Portugal, which will also, that's Ronaldo, right?
Right.
So that's going to have a massive fan base just because of that one man.
And Ronaldo's he's playing in Miami, but he is going to be playing, outside of that, it's Monterrey, Mexico, and Houston. So Miami definitely has a lot more local of a branch. If you're going to fix the ticket thing, I don't really know what you do. Do you attach names to tickets, and you got to do the way
Master style?
And the way to ticket it and the way to transfer it is you have to transfer it via name on one application. You got to get rid of all the ticket subsidiaries and get rid of all these small companies and have it. So you have to transfer it for money versus the person name on the ticket. I don't know. Is that the way to do it? You start IDing people at the door? Who knows? But I don't know if there's a right fix.
Number 4.
John Harbaugh is hired by the New York Giants. The New York Football Giants, late last night, it was broken, the news that they are expected to hire the former head coach of the Baltimore Ravens of 18 seasons. He was a Super Bowl champion there. Things went sour with some shortcomings in playoff games, and this year, shortcomings of making the actual playoffs. How'd you digest that hire by the New York Giants and John Harbaugh?
A++. He's exactly what they needed. He is the complete mold of the type that is able to fix the New York Giants, and the New York Giants need fixing. Quietly been a bottom 3 NFL franchise in the last 10 years, outside of 1 year with McAdoo at the end of Manning, and 1 year with Daniel Jones that led to a terrible contract. They really have done absolutely nothing. They have misfired on a ton of draft picks, especially in the first round. They've been in and out on general managers. They've been in and out on coaches before you know it. The ownership has not been good and been stable, and it's been a disaster. And I think John Harbaugh is the perfect type of person that can get the ship back above water. It's exactly what they were looking for, and I think the Dolphins fan and the Dolphins should be very pissed off that they did not offer him just as much or more and did not have much of a bargaining chip in this whole situation.
Number 5.
Let's go to golf, because Brooks Koepka's coming back to the PGA Tour. We went through the penalties that he's undergoing. A $5 million donation to a charity of the PGA Tour's choice. He won't be making any of the equity fund, with estimated about $50 to $85 million.
Like he needs it.
Right. Brooks Koepka's back, and someone's not happy about it. Former U.S. Open champion, TGL member Wyndham Clark is frustrated that Brooks Koepka could waltz back on into the PGA Tour, even though there were penalties. He said, quote, to SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio, "If you had told me that I could have been gone for a year and a half, make a boatload of money, and then just come back, play on tour, I think almost everyone would have done that." So it's frustrating that happened. Are people going to now see what the tour has done and then go do that anyways? Colin, what you alluded to before this news broke is kind of what Wyndham Clark is saying, that if there's a clean entry back to the PGA Tour after cashing out with the Saudi money, a lot of guys will take that generational wealth, guaranteed.
He's being a little high, so I had to double check. I just checked. Brooks joined LIV in June of 22. June of 22, took him 3.5 years, 4 years.
Where his health was uncertain, so he wanted that guaranteed income.
He's entering his sort of second half of his 30s. Did he make the right financial decision? Yeah. Brooks was lucky enough where he won a lot of majors early. So he's already solidified himself in a good spot. But Brooks Koepka, he's right. You can't look there to Wyndham and say he's wrong. What you can do is head on down to City Place on Saturday night and watch myself and Theo Dorsey do Summer Radio. College football fans, get ready because the ESPN Radio College Football Campus Tour is rolling into City Place, West Palm Beach before it heads down to Miami. Check out the Airstream. It will be at City Place, right on that front lawn, right next to the parking garage in El Camino. That is going to be Saturday night, January 17th from 4 to 8 p.m. Listen to myself and Theo Dorsey 5 to 7. Get some awesome giveaways, some free Monster Energy drinks, play some games, bring your friends, have some fun. Let's enjoy some football this weekend. We'll be back at it tomorrow. It's Christian Cat, Colin Russo. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.